Hi, I'm Christine. I thought I would take a few minutes to talk about something that I know a lot of you on this in this group, this Facebook group here, which is when they hear about your story, if you're telling your story, that you should write a book. That's something that I heard, and that's something that I know a lot of you have heard, and some of you are trying to do that. I'm a big believer in leaving a hard copy of your life in this world. Unfortunately, a lot of things on the digital platform seem to disappear over the years, so I like a hard copy. So why not write a book? I also find writing to be extremely therapeutic in the sense that I make sense of what I'm going through by seeing it on the written page. So my story is that, yeah, I was told the same thing as you. You should write a book, and I started to do that. And then I thought, okay, what story am I trying to tell? Whose story am I trying to tell? And initially I thought I would be telling the story of my biological grandfather and BF because they were minor celebrities in their day. I thought that that would be interesting and appealing. It certainly was fascinating me. The other aspect was, well, I could also write about how there were three generations of dancers, and what a coincidence, or how ironic is that? And as many of you have experienced, that uncanny link between you and your newly discovered biological relatives, that um, artistic inclination, let's say, or you like the same language, or you like the same colors, or there's just this affinity that you've discovered with your newly discovered biological family. So I thought that might be an interesting thing to write about. And at the same time, I attended a weekend conference by Dani Shapiro right before she published her book Inheritance. And there I learned that I was really misinformed about what constitutes a memoir. I thought I needed to write about my whole life story from the time I was born until now. And that's an autobiography, and it's something that really only famous people do, because your family also is not going to want to read what you did from the time you were born until now. So I had to get rid of what was my conception of autobiography, and it was very helpful being in that workshop with her. And I also got to speak with her a little bit about being an NPE, and what she said was that the one thing that she found across the board was that every NPE knew that something just wasn't right growing up. So I thought, that could be an interesting theme angle to focus on in writing about the DNA story, the DNA testing surprise. So I went through a process, and I did publish a book, but I think this process might be interesting to all of you, because you may be going through the same thing of trying to figure out, well, what do I write about, and how do I frame it, and how do I start it, and where does it end? So I'd love in the comments section to hear from you guys as to what your discoveries have been, if you are writing a book, or what you might be struggling with if you're thinking about writing a book. So thanks for listening.